For most of us, when we hear the word Iran, we instantly think of negative things such as wars and terrorism. The stereotypes presented to people through the mainstream media are so negative that we cannot imagine anything good happening inside Iran. Just like there are bad sides to every society, there are bad sides to society in Iran. The bad sides of the society include the government's lack of empathy for people, wealth inequality, lack of freedom, and corruption. However, thanks to mainstream media, we have seen more than enough of the bad sides of Iran. Fortunately, many things are improving, which promises societal change in the near future. In my project, I would like to present to you 4 things that I believe make society in Iran just as good as any other society around the world. Food is important to society because the food we eat and create is greatly influenced by people's societal behaviors and habits. In many cultures, cuisine represents society and its people. Iranian cuisine dates back to hundreds of years ago and has been influenced by Iran's neighboring cultures throughout the years. The use of rice and wheat in Iranian cuisine is substantial. Fresh vegetables, fruits, and a variety of spices are also critical to Iranian cuisine. There are also traditions that are related to food, such as always eating with your family, which emphasizes the importance of family, and sharing your food with others. Almost every major holiday in Iran, people make food and give it out to others. There are many different ethnic groups living in different parts of Iran. Diversity is important in order to make society good because it is how we learn about the people and the world around us. When we are surrounded by diversity, we are able to explore different ideas, beliefs, and lifestyles with an open mind and learn from the different types of people around us. When we accept diversity in our society, we are able to be productive innovators by approaching things in different manners and from different perspectives. Society has a higher chance of being internally and externally peaceful once we accept the diversity around us. The majority of Iranians are Persians. However, some of the many ethnic groups of people in Iran are Kurds, Turks, Lurs, Baluchi people, Gilakis, Mazandarani, Afro-Iranians, Azerbaijanis, and Iranian Arabs. Along with diversity of ethnic people, there are various minority groups from different religious backgrounds. Although the majority of Iranians are Shia Muslim, there are millions of Iranians that are Baha'i, Christian, Jews, Sunni Muslims, and Zoroastrians. Iran has the second highest population of Jews in the Middle East outside of Israel. Hospitality and friendliness are important in order to have a good society because you can have a positive impact on other people's lives when you're friendly towards them. Iranians are famous for being courteous and welcoming. Persian hospitality is a trait ingrained in the Iranian culture for hundreds of years. Iranians even have a famous saying, "A guest is a friend of God." This trait can even be seen in traditional architecture. Many historical houses in Iran have a separate room for guests, which are oftentimes bigger and more luxurious than private rooms. Arts and literature make society good because they influence society by changing opinions, instilling values, and translating experiences across time and space. Iran has one of the richest art heritages in the world. At different times throughout history, Iranian art and literature have been influenced by its neighboring civilizations. Rock art is the most ancient form of art in Iran, dating back to 550 BC. Almost always rock art focuses on historical figures and events and animals. Iranian architecture is one of the most important forms of art and dates back as far as 5000 BC. The Iranian architecture can be put into 2 categories, pre-Islamic and Islamic. There is an abundant use of basic geometrical shapes in Islamic Iranian architecture. Perhaps the most famous form of art in Iran is Persian literature, which emerged in its current form in the 9th century. Some of the greatest poets that contributed towards enriching the Persian literature are Hafez, Rumi, Ferdowsi, Rudaki, Ganjavi, and Shirazi. One of the most famous poems by Shirazi is Bani Adam, which is even inscribed in the United Nations building entrance. Recently, some poets such as Farrokhzad used Iranian literature and poetry as a form of political protest. Traditional Iranian music has developed characteristics through classical, medieval, and contemporary eras. Throughout history and currently, traditional Iranian music functions as a spiritual tool. Indigenous Iranian music instruments used in traditional music include santur, tambur, kamanche, setar, ney, tombak, daf, and many more. In conclusion, societies all around the world are both bad and good. We cannot ignore the good sides of society because of the bad sides, and vice versa.